have this vision that people go to work and it's not just their technical skills, but also their interpersonal side that fits. And I can tell you, they're the ones who are going to stay with you longer. So the first thing we did was we said, okay, how can we help employers? You know, they need to have this data point of compatibility because this is going to change so much for them. And then we said, okay, if you already, if you want to have that compatibility with the manager, that's important, and also the values alignment, that the person is valuing what you are offering, and this really is again all about long-term engagement. And of course, the technical part is important, so ask questions that give you a best idea of when you have a set of candidates who are more likely to meet your requirements versus the ones who are definitely a no-go. So we did that, and then we went forward and we said, okay, well, we talked to this job board and they said, well, when we have candidates we already know we want to hire, couldn't we just use this, your USP, this assessment to see how they fit, or if we're doing relocation? Yeah, for sure. So we set that up that you could really just do this assessment standalone. And then we went a little bit further, and there was a company that said, and this addresses your question, which said, yeah, but you know what? We have such a high turnover. We want to see what's going on in our existing team. So we said, you know what? That's exactly what we can do for you, because actually, while the original assessment is really focused on the relationship of every applicant and the manager, now we can also do this team assessment. So if you have a team where you can say, well, you know what, that person would be so much better if they could work with this team member. Or if you want to move people around, this is really a great insight that you can't have if you observe people. You don't see it on their forehead. This is who works well together. So if we give you that, this gives you, decodes it for you. It really simplifies it for you. Okay, let's try that. And the fantastic part is, having this guy who is 20 years in the industry. I walked him through, and I showed him some of the different teams that we've done this assessment for. And then imagine the confidence that I can have by saying, well, person X, John versus Mary versus Bob versus, obviously I'm using generic names, but I could say, there the issue was this, and we did it like this, and here we gave the guidance that this person is going to leave you unless you do this. And so when I started to show him the data, and I showed him for a few different firms that we've had, basically use the system from a team assessment point of view, he was like, you have to be so proud, because that's amazing what you've done. That is something that people are not looking at in their hiring process. And if they would do an assessment with their existing team, immediately they can understand how accurate is this system. Immediately. Oh, my invitation to companies is contact us. Try the team assessment. You'll be impressed. You'll be impressed how accurate it is. And then you'll wonder why you ever do hiring without it.